This is Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo. This is starting the Yorkshire Mesh Radio Club's Fortnightly net. Just checking, see if there's anybody around.
Waiting for the ident to finish there. We're in Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo. This is Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo. It's very strange. I've just got an echo in the headset at the moment. Is there anyone else wanting to check in? I've got you in the log now. Okay, nobody heard, so over to you. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo from Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Your audio does sound, well, not your audio, but the way you're speaking sounds a little strange, so I'm assuming it's the echo that you've got going on that's putting you off there. Yeah, hopefully we get some more members taking part. I know Liam sounded keen on the chat. So yeah, hopefully, if we leave appropriate pauses, we should get some more guys calling in. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Yeah, quite. I know Liam did say that he was running a little bit late. What you been up to anyway, radio-wise? Mike Zero, Oscar Golf Romeo, back to you. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, I've been a bit of a naughty boy, to be honest. I pulled the trigger on a IC 7100. The 2 meter SSB just I couldn't quite shake the idea. So that should be arriving tomorrow. So yeah, it's been quite a week for radio toys, to be honest. So the drive on mount arrived today, courtesy of UPS, and the giant candy cane pole arrived yesterday. So yeah, I certainly cannot complain. Back to you, Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo.
Okay, this is Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo. Just giving a little pause to see if there's anyone else wanting to check in. Okay, nothing heard. Yeah, I bet your missus is loving all this money you're spending on radio gear, but the IC 7100 definitely looked interesting to me as well.
Yeah, I was sort of weighing it up between the 7100 and the Yaesu FT 991 Alpha. Obviously, there's a significant price difference. I think it's about 400 quid difference, but the only thing the 7100 I think is sort of missing is the waterfall display. So I'm not wanting to pay 400 quid just for the sake of a waterfall. When the thing I'm going to be using it for is probably 2 meter SSB and more than likely a bit of digital modes on 2 meter and 77s as well. I'm keen to try out JS8 on VHF and UHF. Back to you, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Yeah, Mike Zero Alpha, Mike Zero Oscar Golf Romeo returning. Yeah, you might be able to get a pan adapter or something for it, so you can run external SDR for the waterfall still. Just giving a little break again. See if anyone else is going to call in, and then I'll pass it back over to you, Mike. G3HU from M0OGR.
Someone did just briefly key up then, but still nothing heard this side. Yeah, you can get an IF tap for the 7100, but it does require pulling it apart and soldering a bit of coax onto the IF, which I don't think I'm particularly keen on doing on a brand spanking new radio, so I might forgo the waterfall for the time being. I'll probably be out possible with it and things like that, so it's not the be all and end all, and I think it does have a primitive band scope on it as well, so I can make use of that for hunting people. But yeah, fingers crossed it'll do the trick. It certainly seems, bang for buck, I think the 7100 seems the best out of what's available, and obviously, as you know, it's pretty limited in terms of what's available, all band, all mode. Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, back to you.
Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. Yeah, I know on the 7300 it's just coaxially disconnect and then plug in. The little tap goes in between it, but I guess on the 7100 it's a bit different. I'm getting used to this delay now, hearing myself twice, I think. I've not really been up to all that much myself. I was planning on going out to do the Eclipse contest on Wednesday, but not really sure what the weather's going to be up to and stuff. And last thing was the FMAC. That was the last thing I got involved with. I'll leave a short break again and pass it back to you. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo from Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo. Back to you.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning, short pause there, nothing heard my end. We shouldn't be long off getting the results back from FMAC. I don't suppose. I think, is it about a week turnaround on those? I can't quite remember from the last one, but hopefully as a club, we've done a little bit better than we did previously. We certainly seem to be getting out a bit better than we were last time. So yeah, we're all out mobile this time. So fingers crossed we've done a little bit better out of it. I've forgotten what the other thing was that you mentioned. Going out possible for the Eclipse FTA stuff. I've set up my little QDX for that. So I did have it on the Raspberry Pi. I pulled the Raspberry Pi out, and I've now put I've got a little like NUC, Intel NUC style computer. It's not an Intel one. It's a knockoff from Amazon, but it does the same job. It runs Windows. So I've got WSJTX, JS8 Call, Station Master, all those bits and bats on there. So yeah, I need to have a read up on the rules for the FTA contest just to make sure that I'm doing everything right. Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, back to you.
Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. I'll just leave a little pause, see if anyone else wants to check in. Okay, nothing heard. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I need to check the rules myself, but if the weather's nice, I might go out somewhere. A bit tired recently. FMAC. Yeah, today I think, or tomorrow is the last day to get the logs in. So I think a few days after that, isn't it? I can't remember when the last ones came out. I do need to get out again, get out to a park, especially after only getting 9 contacts in the last FMAC. Back to you, G5TAR from M0OGR with a short pause first.
Yeah, nothing heard. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, I've just pulled the FMAC results up now, so someone just hit me to the post for 10th place on the on the results. I thought I was hanging on in there in 10th, but the Welsh station just outdone me by 2 points. They got 1,462, I got 1,460, so they just hit me to the post on 10th place. But yeah, there's certainly a running theme on the success of how people have done on that one. Everybody in the top 10 looks to be running a beam, apart from one person. I think, yeah, there's only one person out of the top 10 that wasn't running a beam. So yeah, that's sort of what's been making me want to have a look at the ZL special. So that might be another thing turning up in the post in the not too distant future. And in all honesty, they're not bank busting money. I did price up aluminium to build my own, but by the time you've bought all the lengths of aluminium, it's probably knocking on the same price as what it costs to get it all pre-cut, pre-drilled, and all that good stuff. So I don't think it's worth it. It just needs a little bit of soldering. When it arrives by the looks of things, you've got to put the ladder line between the driven elements, the bit of stub onto the feed point, and then whatever your choice of feed line is. So yeah, I'll probably give that a go at some point when I've reevaluated my finances, and then that will hopefully, if I can get it mounted somewhere in the centre, I can stick it on the fiberglass roadworks pole. And just for the clarity of any listeners, it's a legitimately purchased roadworks pole, not a stolen roadworks pole. So yeah, Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, back to you, sir.
Okay, this is Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo, giving a little pause to see if anyone else wants to check in. Nothing heard. Okay. Yeah, the ZL Special is a good antenna. I think next time I'm going to take out that homebrew Yagi I made. Maybe I'll get round to finishing it and putting the other 2 elements on it. We'll see. But I know that homemade Slim Jim I was using last time wasn't really very happy down on the 144 section of the band. It much happier a bit higher up. What was I going to say now? There was something else. Oh yeah, the mesh core repeaters. I've been looking at that again, as you know. I just need to dig out the rest of the bits and get that one built up, I think. I might look at that file you sent me over today. I might have a look at it tomorrow and make the modifications. Anyway, back to you. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo from Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, leaving a short pause for anyone wanting to join the Yorkshire Mesh Radio Club bi-weekly net. Nothing heard. This is Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. I realised that bi-weekly, I think it's fortnightly, isn't it? But never mind. Yeah, those custom firmwares on the repeaters certainly do look interesting. I especially like the one that puts out the mesh-tastic beacon if it's not slightly cheeky, but it certainly does the trick. Not that we need any more mesh core participants around here at the moment, do we? It's fairly congested at the moment, but yeah, it's definitely a quirky firmware. And yeah, the Sydney mesh stuff, that was really good, the ability to be able to block certain repeaters. That helped us out massively in the past. It's not too much of an issue now, but when we've had the megaphone repeaters in the past where we just can't get rid of them, that'd have been absolutely ideal in that scenario. Yeah, let us know if you give one of those a shot and how it works out. And if it does, I'll follow suit. Yeah, Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo. Back to you.
Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo, leaving a little pause. Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu, Liam, nice of you to join us. I'll pass it over to you in case you have anything for the net. Okay, this is Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo to Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu. Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. Yeah, that's all very good, Liam. It's nice of you to join us. Oh, what were me and Mike talking about now? Oh yeah, the Sydney Mesh firmware. I like the advert jail function as well, where if the other nodes or repeaters are advertising too often, it puts them in jail for a while and stops rebroadcasting their adverts. I'll pass it over to you now, Mike. G3HU from M0OGR.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo in the group. Good afternoon, Liam, Mike 7 Lima, Mike Zulu. Glad you could make it on. Yeah, shame you've only got a short time, but it's better that you got on than you didn't. So it's nice to have you on, and hopefully the members will grow as the weeks go by. Obviously, we'll get Mike 7 Oscar Mike Hotel when he's back from his jollies as well, and hopefully some more. I'm not sure whether Steve will be able to get into this net or not. I guess the repeat is quite high up there in Huddersfield, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility. You might even have to make a little journey out to the Pennines. Yeah, Liam, I'll pass it back to you. This is Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo in the group.
Currently doing an online level 3 in engineering. taken up a lot of my time. I've been very, very unproductive this week, so I've found myself with sort of a week left before my assignment's due, and now I'm starting to panic a little bit, so I'm spending all day and most of the evening trying to get my assignments done and finished. I usually manage it. As much as I'm panicking, I'm not actually worried. I'll have it done in a couple of days, but yeah, I just wanted to bob on, especially for the first net, just to say hello and try and bump the numbers up a little bit from Mike 7, Lima and Mike Zulu with the group.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Sounds interesting, does that course? Do they do like the sort of vocational stuff as well, like electricians and things like that? I've been toying with the idea of a career change. So at the minute I'm a Cisco routing and switching engineer. What sort of working in the data center space. But I've always sort of fancied trying my hand at being a spark. I know it's probably not going to be easy trying to get, become an apprentice and get the hours experience in the bag, given that I'm still in full-time employment. But yeah, I just wondered, what sort of course provider is it that you're doing the courses in it? Do they do the vocational stuff? Also, your audio is a smidge quiet, so I don't know whether before the next net, if you just have a quick look at your mic gain on your transmit audio, just see if you can bump that up a little bit. But yeah, you do sound a little bit quiet. Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu returning. Yeah, as far as I know, they do the vocational stuff as well. The course provider is Learn Direct. Everything is online, so obviously I don't have to go to college once a week or twice a week. I applied to go to university to do electronic and communications engineering, but because I didn't have a relevant qualification, I was declined, so I came away. I'm doing the level 3 in engineering, which I believe I've got a couple of years to do it, but I can do it in as little as 6 months. A little bit optimistic, I don't think I'll get it done that quickly, but I have got that option. And yeah, it's all, I've paid for everything up front. Like I said, I don't have to go into college, and the courses that they do right up to level 6. I wouldn't even like to begin trying to tell you the courses that they do. The library is absolutely massive, so yeah, if it's something that you're thinking of doing, to be honest, that's why I've done it. I'm 34 now, and I had a bit of a moment when I lost my granddad this year, and I sort of felt that I've always done dead-end jobs and I've never really had a career, so yeah, I had a bit of a moment and decided I'm going to take a different path, so here I am doing this level 3 course now with the intention of hopefully going to university next year. Back to you, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo from Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. It's strange, isn't it, how it takes something like that to sort of spur you on into booking up your ideas, doesn't it? Like, but no, I totally get you. Like, I joined my employer upon leaving school. I did start university, failed my exams, dropped out of university, but I was working for this company at the same time. And so I've been there over half of my time on this planet now. So yeah, you're 34, I'm 37, so probably not too dissimilar. Yeah, it's all changed now, the way that everything works. My employer is just getting a little bit not political, but I don't quite know how to describe it. With the rise of AI and all this sort of stuff, the job that I did 5 years ago isn't the job that they're trying to make us do today, and I've always fancied doing something more hands-on, so whether we're going to a data center role, installing this stuff, or what, or potentially down the electrician route, that's sort of what I'm aiming for. But yeah, I'll see how things pan out. But yeah, thanks for the information on that course provider there. I'll definitely check them out and see if we've got anything along the lines of the getting your gold card certified for becoming a Sparky and see where that takes me. But yeah, I'll pass it back to Owen just to see if he's got anything else he wants to chip in. So Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo to Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo.
Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. I'll just leave a little pause quickly, see if anybody else wants to check in. Nothing heard. You just passed it back to me as I was choking on some Pepsi. I've not really got anything else. I was just, as I say, looking at that firmware earlier, but yeah. I'll pass it back to Liam. M7 LMZ, yeah, from M0 OGR.
I don't have an awful lot, to be honest. Like I say, it was just a quick one from me. Just on a bit of a side note as well, just in terms of that Learn Direct. It is very well priced as well. I think I only paid something like 1,100 quid for the full course. At the moment, I'm out of work, which is meaning I've got a lot of time to do my studies, but it's getting to the point now where it's getting a little bit frustrating. So I'm trying to get myself back into work, but I would like to do something that's relevant to my interests. When I'm finished with this course and when I eventually do go to university, the end goal is hopefully to go into maybe some sort of broadcast engineering, something like that. But yeah, that's the goal hopefully. So yeah, mine's definitely worth having a look into. I'd recommend it. I was recommended by one of the professors at Huddersfield University, who also happens to be a family relation. And yeah, it's really worked out well. Yeah, just in terms of the mesh hardware you've been looking at, obviously I recently moved over to Meshcore from Mesh. So I'm still getting used to Meshcore, but I have found that it's very, very busy. It's constant, especially with the weather being good as well. I seem to be deleting my contacts most days. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a bit of a smaller group perhaps, maybe a different frequency. I know that's been tried in the past with Meshtastic, but obviously these are all things that can be explored and see what works best for everybody. Mike 7 Lima, Mike 0 with the group.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, we did try, that's sort of where the Yorkshire Mesh, in quotes, was sort of originally born. With a bunch of guys, and this predated my time on Meshtastic, so Owen was one of the originals, along with Hawkins. They jumped ship onto, I think it was 869.4 or 868.4. I can't remember. It might have been slightly out of band, the frequency that those guys were running back in the early days. And for a time, it seemed to work really well. But I think the thing with that was it was still on the 250k bandwidth. So it was still getting quite a lot of interference from the other stuff that's also on 250k bandwidth on the 868 ISM band or whatever it is. Like the zappy car chargers and stuff like that. When Meshcore in its early days on 62.5, that seemed to work really well, obviously, until it started getting a lot more congested in the recent months. Yeah, I think Owen and Michael and I have been chewing it over a little bit in terms of I wonder how it would work on a different frequency. So it's certainly something we'd consider giving a shot. And I think, me personally, I've come off the mesh a bit because it's just getting too much. There's too many people talking, too many conversations going on at once. You can't keep track of who's talking to who, that sort of thing, and you know, the response, your ability to get messages out and actually get them to their intended destination is getting increasingly difficult as it stands. So yeah, certainly a QSY2 channel 1 might be in order, just to see how that works out. We can always go back if it doesn't, but I'd certainly be interested to try that one out. Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu returning. Yeah, like you say, it just does seem a little bit congested at the moment. My synchros ran out of battery a couple of days ago, and to be honest, I've not plugged it back in just because I found myself getting a little bit bored with trying to stick through all that congestion. So yeah, like you say, it might be worth giving it a try. It's one of those things that, you know, as you say, if it doesn't work out, you can always change back. It's not difficult. But yeah, it'd be good to maybe give it a whirl and see how it goes. And like you say, we can always come back if it doesn't work out. I probably will plug it back in sometime in the next few days. Again, I've just got lots going on, so it's sort of in the back of my mind at the moment. Back to you, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo from Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. So you mentioned the Meshtastic QSY. Were you there in the early Meshtastic days then, on the other frequency? Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo in the group.
Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu returning. Yes, Mike, I was. I was there in the early days, but I was there briefly. Without going into too much of a sob story, I had a really, really bad couple of years with family losses and things going on like that, and I just sort of drifted away. And then as I sort of came back to it, which was relatively recently, I discovered that everybody had left Metastatic and there was no longer the group as I knew it. And yeah, that's when I sort of stumbled upon Yorkshire Mesh and discovered that it was basically people from the old days that had jumped over to Meshcore and began this new group. So yeah, I sort of rejoined up just simply because things were a lot better, really. Yeah, like I said, I won't go into too much detail, but yeah, it was a rough time, and I just sort of stepped back from a lot of things, really. So I was there in the early days, but yeah, not for very long, maybe sort of 2 or 3 months. Back to you, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo, Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu with the group.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, man, that sounds like you had a tough time, but at least you're sort of coming out the other side of it, as it were. But yeah, just out of curiosity, what was your handle on Meshtastic then back in the early days, and see if I can recognise you. Back to you.
Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu returning. I think off the top of my head, Mike, my username was just my call sign, Mike 7 Lima Mike Zulu, as far as I know. Again, it has been a while. I can sometimes only just remember what I did this morning. But yeah, as far as I know, it was just my call sign. Back to you.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, got you. Yeah, I can't remember your call. I knew there were a few guys on the mesh that use the call signs. I think when I jumped on Meshtastic, I wasn't licensed at the time, so it was sort of the Owen and Co. and their radio chatter that sort of incentivized me to get licensed, and I think I got my foundation in September 2024 or something like that. So it was probably the tail end of the Meshtastic days. Yeah, back to you. Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo in the group.
Mike 7 Lima Lima, Mike Zulu returning. Yeah, Mike, yeah, like you say, I definitely remember Owen being in the group. I know Owen was kind enough to donate me a mesh antenna, which I am still using now. It's in the loft at the minute, and I'll always be grateful to Owen for that. I always felt a little bit bad, obviously, how things went, and that I just sort of drifted off and seemed to sort of disappear. But, you know, it's good to be back, and it's good that, you know, everybody's friendly and welcoming. I don't think you're the only person that has done the licence because of the group or because of people like Owen. I was speaking to Steve at the rally that I went to last week, and he was saying that he was only relatively recently licensed, and it was in part down to the group that he got that license. So you know, I think even if there's a few people in the group that decided to go on and then do the license and become licensed amateurs, it keeps the hobby alive. I know there's a lot of talk, there always is, between the older amateurs, shall we say, that you know, say that it's a dying hobby, and I like to think it's not a dying hobby. I speak to plenty of people, some even younger than myself as well, that are interested and are interested in getting licensed. So it's good that you know, people are persuaded by not just the group but by other factors as well, and you know, talking to people, it's good that we can keep the hobby alive, so to say. Mike 7 Lima, Mike Zulu with the group.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alfa Romeo returning. Yeah, certainly, and I think, you know, when you think back, you know, it feels to have been a bit of a long slog getting to where we are now. But when you think about it, we've done some fairly decent stuff. You know, there's been quite a few people that have got licensed off the back of it. We've set up the club. We've run quite a few special events now as a little club, and all that was born out of nothing really. And you know, just guys like us just chatting on the mesh. So it certainly worked out all right when you think about what we've done so far in a relatively short space of time. But yeah, and I totally agree. Like, when you hear some of the older generation talking, it's, you know, it's more like they're always condemning it, saying it's you know, they're a dying breed and this, that, and the other. But I think the opposite. I think, you know, there's a bit of a resurgence, and certainly, you know, with digital modes and stuff like that, it gives people that aren't too keen on rag tunes and whatnot an opportunity to get on the radio, albeit not speaking. But yeah, I'm just conscious Owen's been sat on the side for quite some time, so I'll pass it back round to Owen, leaving a slight pause. So Owen, back to you. Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo from Golf 5 Tango Alfa Romeo.
Nothing here. This is Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. Yeah, I have a feeling that Liam joined Meshtastic after we made the move. Can't be 100% on that. And the other Michael, M7 OMH, he got licensed as a result as well from the mesh, so it's quite interesting. I know as a club we have quite a few unlicensed members as well, which I found interesting, but quite low take up on rejoining for September from them, so maybe that won't be the case next year. Anyway, back to you, Liam, M7 or MZ from M0 OGR.
Yeah, I think you're right, Owen. When I joined Meshtastic, I think it was after the move over to the new frequency. 869.4 was mentioned earlier, and it seemed to ring a bell. But yeah, I think it was after the move that I joined there with the group. you know, in terms of people that are licensed or not licensed, like you say, it's good that the group has helped with that uptake. I think sort of being around people, you know, even for myself, as a foundation license holder, you know, I spend time, especially with the rally that I was at last week, spending time with people that are able to use the 100 watts and you know, the full kilowatt, I believe it is now, for a full license holder. Even for myself, it wants to make me do the intermediate, which I am working on, amongst many other things. So obviously it is on a little bit of a back burner at the moment, but it's good that the group can bring people together, and those people that may come to events that are not licensed and are seeing what can be achieved with radio. You know, even if you can get one or two people to think about picking up that foundation button and spending that little bit of money. I think it's £35 now. I think I paid £27.50 when I did my foundation back in 2021. And yeah, I think it's about £35. It's not overly expensive. And I keep saying to people, if you're thinking of doing it, just do it. Foundation is easy anyway. Yeah, but it is good that the group is sort of helping with that uptake of licensees, if you like. I'm going to say 73, guys. Like I say, I'm mindful that I'm sat here looking at my screen with sort of part of an assignment, and if I sit here too much longer, I'll Mike 7 Lima, Mike Zulu. Sorry, I timed out then. Must be waffling a bit too much. Yeah, but I'm going to leave you guys to it. Like I say, I'm going to go and do a little bit more of my assignment. It was great to get on the net, and I look forward to the next one. So I'll pass it back to you, and like I say, I'll say 73. It's been good chatting, guys. Mike 7 Lima, Mike Zulu with the group.
Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. Yeah, no worries, Liam, and it's good to have you on. All the best with the assignment, and hopefully catch you on the next one. I don't know if we've got anything booked in between now and the next. I'm just trying to bring my calendar up now, but I've lost it. But yeah, I don't think we do it. It's the end of the month that we'll have the club meet if you're going to jump on the video conference. But yeah, I'll pass it back round to Owen so he can say goodbyes. And yeah, all the best, Liam, and 73 from Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo.
Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo returning. Yeah, we have ClubNet on the 24th, and then the meeting is on the 25th, so the next day. It's happening a bit like that over next month as well, I think. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us, Liam. I'll speak to you again soon, maybe next fortnight, or on the 25th, maybe. And unless Mike has anything else, then it's probably time to close down. Over to you, Mike. G5TAR from M0OGR.
Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning. No, Owen, I don't think I've got anything else that I wanted to have a chat about, and I'm sure if something springs to mind, we can catch up in one of the various groups. Yeah, thanks very much, chaps. It's been good to catch you both. And I'll see you on the next one on the 24th, then, if that's the case, and the day after. Yeah, enjoy radio. In the meantime, I'll be playing with a new toy when it arrives tomorrow, so you might not hear from me for a bit. Yeah, Golf 5 Tango Alpha Romeo returning to you, Owen, to close down the net.
This is Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo, wishing everybody a good evening and good night, and we'll be closing down. Mike 0 Oscar Golf Romeo and the Yorkshire Mesh Radio Club first fortnightly net going clear.
Mike Zulu. Good evening all, and thanks again for the net. Good talking to you. Owen, speaking of new toys, my Messi and Paoloni connector should be arriving in the next couple of days, so I'll be in touch for a little bit of help on that one if you'd be so kind. But yeah, once again guys, great to talk to you. Thank you for the net. And until the next one, 73, Mike 7 Lima, Mike Zulu, clear of the net.
Yeah, 73 gents, Golf 5 Tango Alfa Romeo, going clear.